Welcome to the Hot Topics podcast. This is Psycho 4081, and we have
Felonious Feather
and Lady Lamb Chop.
Thank you all for joining. Of course, Hot Topics podcast is your podcast where we talk about all things, everything, and nothing's off the table. So today we're going to talk about. Last week we talked about the men.
Right.
We talked about what was
respect.
Would a man love? Would a man prefer to have respect or love?
Love. Right.
Okay. So to kind of even that out and this is the part 2 of that, we want to talk about the women. So it was, do women prefer, or would they prefer a broke man that they love, or would they prefer a rich man that they respect?
Right.
All right. So it's kind of the same thing. So I just added a little extra on that because it was about
you added the financial thing on there.
Okay.
And why?
I'm glad you asked. So I had a conversation a little bit earlier, and we were talking about why didn't you ask the same exact question? Do they want love or respect? We already know that women are going to, I know they're going to say, oh, we need both. Or I need love, or I need respect. But I put a caveat in there because traditionally men don't care about money when it comes to their spouse.
Okay.
And, speaking to some other people, they were talking about, women will talk about, you have to provide, right?
Right.
So men don't care about that. We're not looking for a woman to provide. Most of us don't, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to put that in there where it comes to money, how important money is when, you're looking at a relationship. Obviously, love is important for some and respect is important for some, but whether the person's poor, whether the person's rich. So now you have something that says, is love really more important, or is respect, or really money?
Yeah, because you're putting it as financial
right
stability more important.
Right. So really it's about love or money. But I threw the respect in there because obviously nobody's going to admit that they're
after
the money. Right.
Some people will come out and say that's what they want.
Okay.
Some people will.
So we did that as a question of the day. And we got, various responses. So we're going to start with Felonious on this one here about what's your take on women and money, love, respect?
For me, because of the current situation of the country and the economy, money is really important. Really, I'm trying to find this saying, like, I would rather cry in a Lamborghini,
okay,
than laugh and ride a bicycle or something.
All right, so basically you're saying,
love withstands. So if you think about it, really, love withstands everything. Like, I'm not against growing together, like growing with the man.
Right.
You know, you don't know what the future holds. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So as far as the person is not lazy, as far as your partner isn't lazy, and then the person can work and is
and capable,
ambitious,
right.
So we could grow and build together to what we want. But love is important. It's really. But if I can't get love, I would stick to money. Money.
Oh, money. Oh, forget the respect.
Because money. If as long as I'm good, I drive a nice car. I could love. I'll love you my own way.
So let me ask you something. And this was the same with the guys the last podcast we had. Can love, in your perspective, when it comes to this, can love and respect be separated? Can you have one without the other?
Can you have love
without respect?
And can you have respect
without love?
Are you talking about respect now, or are you talking about money?
I'm talking about respect.
Okay, for women.
We already know anybody could take money, but from a woman's perspective, because can you separate love and respect?
Yeah, like to the other person.
Yeah.
Like, would I take love over respect?
No. Can you
love someone without respecting them, or can you respect them without loving them?
To me, no, they go hand in hand for me.
for you.
Yes.
Okay.
If I love you, it means for me to love you, it means you're somebody I respect. You know, I'll respect you, honor you. You know.
So going back, and this is kind of like a recap, but we when we talked about it last time, it was more or less from the man's point of view. We had passed the dirty here,
right?
And I looked at it this way: like if you have a child, and you have a wayward child who just doesn't respect you, but they love you, they just act out. They don't respect you as how you feel they should be.
I'm gonna smack the hell out of that child. Trust me. I'm an African parent, so how dare you?
But you can love somebody and not respect them in terms of how they.
So I'm imagining this in my head, like, okay, I have a man that loves me but disrespects me. That's not love to me. Well, that's not love. So I'll take respect. I'll probably take respect.
He may not see it as
disrespect.
Right?
So like I'm home. He's calling other women in the house, or he's bringing women over to the house.
While you're there?
Yeah. That's disrespectful.
Why?
That's disrespectful. You know, so how can you say you don't? How can you say you're not thinking about it as being disrespectful?
But again, it goes back to how men and women think. It's different. Also, now, and it's kind of off the subject, but men can do certain things and still love or love you.
So they say compartmentalize.
Yes.
So they
good
say.
Word.
So they say.
No, I truly, sincerely believe that.
Because you're a man.
Just like, well, yeah. But that's like if you have somebody that you're dating, right? And let's scratch that. A guy goes out and he finds a woman, and he does whatever with that woman.
XYZ. That's your word.
Does XYZ. But he does it because of more a primal, lust.
Here we go.
Instead of love. But he would satisfy that part. Yeah. But then go home and actually love
his wife or whatever.
His wife, right. So in that sense, you can separate that. Yeah. But he might still love his wife, but didn't think about it or didn't think enough of it to say, okay, well, I know this is disrespectful.
Well, disrespectful, it could be disrespectful, but as long as it's not bringing it to her face.
But it still would be disrespectful.
Yeah, but she doesn't know about it.
But she wouldn't know that it was being disrespectful. She wouldn't know.
But he is being disrespectful, but still love his wife. Okay. So I think it can, be separated.
Yes, I think it can be separated, but that's a thin line. Like that's a
really thin.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's walking into some messed up territory. Well, I think if a friend I can love, or not even a friend, an acquaintance or a political person, I can love their ideas, but not necessarily respect them, or vice versa. Like I can love how you say that, I can love what you stand for, but you do some dirty stuff, and I don't respect that part.
Okay. So,
but in a relationship, I think I like you, I probably want both.
Okay,
and
so
I think most women
that's
want
another
both.
thing too. So somebody brought up the fact that you give everybody respect off the rip. Like, say, if I meet you, I'm gonna give you your respect, right? And they say, well, yeah, that normally comes with it anyway. I said, no, but it's different. That's not really respect. You're just being cordial, or you're upholding social norms.
Okay,
right. So we talked last week. We was talking about how respect is somebody that does something that you admire, right?
Holding someone in high esteem.
Exactly. Yeah. So just somebody right off the somebody you meet off the street, you don't have that. You don't know anything about them. So we're talking about that part of
like
respect.
a random.
Well, no, what I'm saying is there's when people say respect, they say, well, I give everybody respect. No.
Yeah, there are different levels, I think.
Yes.
So the level we're talking in this particular situation, we're talking about that. The one that you hold in high esteem and admire. Okay, that respect. So you have that guy who you have high esteem for, you admire, he's skillful, hard worker, all the attributes that you love. But you don't really love him. Right? He doesn't spark that, you know, but you still hold him in high regard.
Yes.
And he's rich.
It happens. Yes, it happens.
Right. And he's rich. Then you have the guy that you love to death. Oh, he just makes you just light up as soon as you walk into the room. Right. But don't have two nickels to rub together. Right. So women, I believe, I guess it depends on your area too, your culture,
it does, and your generation.
And your so one of the ladies on social media said she would go for love over a rich guy and that she respected. And that was Dawn.
Okay.
And she said, because I got the bag, basically.
Okay, so she has money. Right, she can hold her own. Or he can make money.
I think she said she'll make the money for both of them.
She'll make okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess in that case, you know, if a woman has her own,
right,
then they could easily go for the love over the, you know, rich man with the money.
Right.
But you think about it that, okay, what if, so he's rich today, what happens?
And broke tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens and then what happens?
But, but you still.
But if you have love, you have love. Broke, rich, whatever.
But you can still respect them, and then.
But if you're going in for money,
right?
Once the money is gone, there's nothing left, because then you
because that's what you went in for. That's what you said. I'm going in because of the money.
Yes, and
so
then if it's
once
gone,
the money's gone,
there's not going to be respect.
Okay,
then the respect left.
Let's go back to the arranged marriages. How they used to do back in the day, and they still do.
They still do,
right? So I know, because I spoke to, I'm trying to think who it was. It was somebody who had an arranged marriage, and I apologize if I don't remember your name or who gave me that information, but it was an arranged marriage, right? So the person wasn't rich, but it was obviously came from a respectful family and stuff like that. So they got together, and obviously when we talked about last week, what a man loves more is they want the respect,
or prefers
the loyalty and stuff like that. So he took that, but as time went on, they learned to love each other. Right. So it I think if you're coming from that, you know, segment
scenario,
yeah, I think it would be easier to say, I'll take somebody that's rich and I respect, because if it's an arranged marriage, most likely it's an old traditional style where the man has to prove before they even got the arrangement. Yeah, I can take care of this. Right. Okay. So we got that clear. So we're gonna go to. We had some responses from social media.
We did,
and we're gonna go with. Here's one that, a call in. Let me pull that up.
You gonna say a name?
And I love your podcast. It's a really, really great podcast. Nobody knows podcasting more than me. Don't forget to vote for me. The blacks love me.
The blacks. He said the blacks.
So we had our boy come watch us or listen to us, and he had a couple of things
to say.
Yeah, and let's follow up since you're talking about it. And okay.
Chop lady, she sounds like one of
Lamb
women
chop.
I have working in the sweatshops in China. She probably makes good ties and does nails well.
Okay, so there you go.
Don't you dare! Don't you?
I have to I have to tell you this. I meant to call you. I was gonna call you. So I took some pants to the dry cleaner to get him, and the guy was very friendly. Asian guy was very, very friendly. And I went back to pick him up, and he's like, "Oh, little shorty," because I told him.
He called you shorty.
Yes, I said to him, I was like, "I'll be back because I'm a shorty. You know, I'll be back. I'll bring some more clothes to you because I'm a shorty." So I come in, he's like, "Oh, little shorty." I was like, I told you I'll be back," and he was just like, "Oh no, you're not a little shorty. You're a cutie." And I was just like, "Okay, I am not your people."
he was calling shorty, but he was like 5'1".
And I was like, oh my God, Glass is just gonna get a big kick out of this. I was just like, oh, I'm not your people. I'm just not.
So you're being noticed, obviously, right?
Okay.
And we got one more comment.
No.
No.
Feather woman. The blacks in Africa love me too. They love me. I can't understand what she says. How the hell did she get in the country anyway?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that was from our buddy.
How? Oh,
I took a
Lordy.
train.
You know? Oh my God.
So all right, we'll add that in.
Yeah. We're gonna pass on that, and maybe one day down the road we can have a conversation
you know what?
about that. But I can't.
But we did. We got one from Obama as well.
Oh my God.
Oh jeez.
No.
Very-
About you.
Barack Obama.
Thank you.
Oh my
About
gosh.
him.
Right?
Accolades.
I'm sure it's yes. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Keep them women in line. You're doing a great job.
Obviously, of course.
I can't.
So
Yeah, I hope you edit all of this out. Please do. Please do.
Hey, this is unedited, unrehearsed. All right, so you're gonna go to the
comments on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So Muhammad said, most women look for financial security first. Number one reason of the majority of divorces is finances.
Okay, would you agree with that?
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. That's hard.
I think I would agree with that.
You think that's the number one reason? Finances?
Oh yeah, finances will cause all the rest of the stuff.
Okay. I mean, it's big. It's definitely up there.
Okay.
Love goes out of the window. I guess that's for finances.
Mm-hmm.
So most women strive to latch on to a rich man. Love is secondary. I don't know of any woman who prefers a broke man regardless of loving him or not.
Okay.
Muhammad, I have some issues with the latch on, but yeah.
Now you can, if let's say, now just going by his name, Muhammad. Let's say he's from the Islamic community, and let's say he's from, let's say, the Middle East or wherever.
Okay.
Right? So they tend to have more traditional values and traditional ways of thinking. So he may look at it as, you're not going to get a woman unless you can afford her. And obviously, if you have a woman from that family over there, they looking at your family. Oh, they have money. That's a prize. We're gonna connect. So, in his environment, that's probably what all he sees.
Okay.
Right. And let's say in your environment, what did you know a few married people, right? Mm-hmm. So did they ever tell you like how they met, or was it like something
arranged?
No, never arranged.
Nobody's
arranged.
So pick a married couple. You don't have to say the name, but just say, whether if you know how they met.
Yeah, well, people meet everywhere. Like, so basically, it's like I met you maybe on Facebook or whatever, and then we met. We agreed to meet, and then we're cool, vibing and all that, dating, and you have a good job. I have a good job.
Good job came in.
A good job starts family,
Well, yeah,
that's how you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A good job means you don't have to be extra rich, but you're doing something,
right?
And then both of us, at least coming together, we can make something happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I met this guy, no job. Well, so that's what I'm saying. That's pretty important too. It might not be. You don't have to be rich, but you have to be ambitious.
Something has to be going on, and you have to have some potential, even if you're not rich right now. That doesn't mean you won't be rich later.
Right. So that's the difference. So it's not like because you're broke, you could be broke right now, but I see you putting in effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's it for me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I saw I saw a meme. It just happened to be, well, actually, it wasn't a meme. It was on Instagram, and they screenshot a conversation between two people. One said, "Hey, you know how you do. Hey, what's up? How you doing? What are you doing? Oh, I'm shopping at such and such." And the guy says, what are you getting? And she says, "Wrong question." He was like, "How's that the wrong question?"
Right.
So she says, you should be asking, how much is your cart?
No.
Right. So he says, what the hell would I ask a question like that for? Right? So I just happened to come across that, and I was like, that's interesting. And just looking at the dialogue, a lot of people were saying that this is how this, I won't say, this generation of women is more or less, hey, let's meet, but what can you do for me financially?
Yes,
Don't
my
you
son
see-
complains
have
about
you
that
ever
all the
seen
time.
This thing on Instagram, this prank thing, where it's a gold digger prank. You seen that one?
Yeah, I see it on Facebook.
Yeah, so where the guy has like a Lamborghini or whatever.
Yes.
And then he's just somewhere else besides his car doing something else, like on the streets, and then you say hi to the lady, and then she's like, hi, whatever, and then she's like, oh, I have a boyfriend, I'm not saying hi to you, whatever. And then he's like, oh, okay, no problem. And then he goes to the car, and then she looks like, oh, that's your car. And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't want my number. I'm gonna give you my number.
Like,
a lot of that
no.
happens, and
Yeah.
it's
No.
a prank, but it happens.
So now I don't know for sure, but somebody said maybe that might be
stage.
staged.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh,
Edward.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I don't know, but I do
But
believe stuff
I
like that
imagine
happens.
that happens. I definitely.
But
But my son complains all the time that if women in his circle, maybe his circle, they're just like, well, if you don't have this, that, and the other thing, I'm not even going to start a conversation with you.
Exactly.
So it's just like, oh, okay. So you really don't care if you love him. You just need
Don't
to
you see
have
people,
things.
people that complain that, oh, don't take me to Starbucks or McDonald's.
Right,
on the
right,
first
right,
date.
right.
The
Yeah.
one
Right.
what's that restaurant?
Don't take me.
Not Boga. What's the restaurant that went viral because the guy took her there, and she said,
Was it
"Oh,
Olive
Was it
Garden?
Chick-fil-A?
No, it was a little bit higher up on the scale.
I
What's the
remember.
one? What's the one? And they have one in Towson. That's on I don't even know the street.
Cheesecake Factory?
Cheesecake Factory, okay.
Cheesecake Factory, right? And,
Okay.
and it was like, she was like, I don't go to Cheesecake Factory,
Wow.
So, that's a problem. I think with this generation is more
It's
what
more
you can give me.
offer.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Right.
so from what you can offer, then love will grow.
Well, but even from a guy's perspective, we look at that like, you know what? What happens when I'm short or I'm struggling?
Right.
Then what?
Right.
Or you might even think it's not your responsibility to even help me.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Well, things change over the years, like generational.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Everything
definitely think it's a
changes,
generational
so-
thing. Yeah.
So everything changes, and
So
Right.
So this generation, can we say that it's more money driven?
yes,
Yes.
Not even by
definitely.
the economic times, but just
It's,
Yes.
it's
'cause
materialist.
It's,
I
yeah,
think
because
it's
it's a lot
social
of social
media
yes, that's what I was gonna
driven.
say,
I
yes,
think it.
like,
Yeah.
and people. The funny thing is, a lot of people live fake lives.
Yes.
So, but
yes.
then by what they see, they feel, oh, this person can get. But then all these people just want posts. They want views and all that. So they just make up all this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they believe others. They believe in all that, and then they want a guy, a non-realistic
Right. Right.
relationship.
Yes.
So there's a football player, former football player, right? His name is Chad Johnson, but they call Chad Ochocinco. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah,
All right.
I've heard of it.
So wide receiver played for the Bengals, and it's so funny. I like listening to him, and he said his first few years in the NFL. Now this guy is getting millions of dollars. He said, "I lived at the stadium."
Oh my gosh.
He said, "Why would I get an apartment? They have showers, they had food, they had all the
Everything he needed.
Yes, he said, he said he didn't leave until the coach told him he had to go get an apartment. But he says I don't. He's basically saved up the majority of his money that he made in the NFL. We see
Right.
problems about that, but you have somebody like that. He says, you see the gold that I wear. I got that from I think he said Claire's. He said, "Why? I'm Ochocinco. Why do?" But he was like, the watch and all that. He said, "I don't wear them fancy watch." He
Right.
said, he asked the host, says, "What time is it?" He told him the time. See, how much was that? It was free, right? So women do go to the All-Star game, the All-Star weekend,
Okay.
or some of the clubs wherever celebrities hang out, just so they can get that man.
Right.
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 And we know what happens, but that's a good perspective, right? So what do we have? We have
Oh, so I remember that. Speaking of which, there was this man, a footballer, we call it footballer, a soccer player.
Soccer, okay.
Yes,
Right.
that went viral one time like that because his wife, because when he got married, apparently all his assets were in his mom's name. He never changed. Do you remember? And then he had like backlash. He had some guys like hailing him like, "Oh my God, you did the right thing," and everything. Like, so I'm like in that kind of situation though. But she's your wife.
So he never changed it over after they got
everything
married?
it was in his mom's name, and they were going to get a divorce.
And
but everything was in his mom's name.
Didn't his mom live with him though, or
I don't even know. I'm trying to think.
Wow.
Well, that's another footballer where his mom lived with him because he's like, I struggled and I put all his money here and there. So I like that.
So it says Akimi's decision to register all his assets under his mother's name has sparked a global debate, with some praising him for being wise in protecting his wealth, while others criticize him and his mother for their actions. The Moroccan football and his ex-wife were both born in Madrid. So he had all his wealth in his mother's name, and so his wife couldn't get.
I don't think that's unreasonable. What do you think?
So did you go into the marriage knowing your wife was going to leave you, like? Or did you go into the marriage?
Right, that's my thought. Like, did you go into this marriage because you love this man, or did you go into this marriage because you wanted his money? And then when you realized you couldn't have his money, mom's got the money. Then you're like, oh, I'm out.
But still, I'm not totally sure. I agree with him putting everything in his mother's name.
So you're saying because he did that, he went into this marriage basically forecasting
thinking,
that it's not going to last.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, but somebody in his position always have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's so I understand him, like somebody like me.
Yeah, you're broke ass.
Yeah. There's no need for me to put my stuff in my mom's name. You get what you get.
It's like half or nothing is
right. Yeah. So in that case, me doing that would be a little different from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I imagine that's kind of hard for them to, do you really know that this, I mean, it's hard for the average man to be like, do I really think that she really loves me for me, or is it for my money?
Yeah.
Right. I think it's pretty smart of him, to be honest, in his position. Like I would tell that was smart, but I would tell like somebody who.
How did she not know that before they got down the aisle? Like that's my other thing. Like
how would she know?
Okay, I guess you're right. Unless he told her.
Unless she was checking.
Oh.
And then that's to me that's a flag. You worry about my assets for. And so we have Muhammad. We have a few more.
Yeah, we did, but you know what?
He lost it.
Get my life straight. I don't know. I think it's harder now for couples to get together and sincerely, because like I said, I hear my son complain all the time. It's what do I have? I have to go on this trip. I have to show people that I have these things. So I think it's more like like we were saying, social media driven. And if my boyfriend has this, now if I'm your friend, my boyfriend has to have this, which don't make sense in my head, but that seems like how it goes. And I'm not sure if love and respect is in there anywhere.
Right. Well, I never had to look. If you meet me,
people don't even respect anybody anymore.
It's like that's it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody respecting nobody.
Yeah, it's like out on the streets, no respect no more.
So we have someone who called in, left a message. I'm gonna just play her voice.
Okay.
Right.
Would you say her name?
Her name is Elizabeth.
Okay.
I think she probably said her name though.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Liz from Uganda. Just to respond to the topic for today, do men love a broke man that they love, or a rich man that they respect? My argument is women prefer a rich man that they respect. Yes, love is supposed to be in the picture, but being in love with a broke man will bring in arguments that may in the end turn out to sound disrespectful to me. Love does not put on the table, money puts food on the table. And with a rich guy,
I like that though.
Respect and adding love on it will hope the relationship blossom compared to being broke with being in love with a broke man. Yeah. That's my view.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't be mad at it. She said.
But it goes back to what Muhammad said, you know?
Yeah.
With finances being the number one cause of those problems. And she just broke it down and said, you know,
that love doesn't put food
on the table.
And even then, like the respect is gone, or it could get disrespectful.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Or so because of her comment, I thought of something like if it was the woman that had the money, then the man will feel insecure as well. You know, and this at every opportunity he'll feel like disrespected, and do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
Either ways, it's this or that. So if it was like, oh, I love you, but I have the money for both of us,
right?
It'll still be like, oh, because you have more money than I do, because you did it, you don't really love me. It's not true love. It's not real love.
Any little crack, right? I don't know. How do you feel about that? If she had the money,
me personally, I would not care. If I'm not one of those guys that believe that I have to be the main breadwinner.
Okay,
you know. Obviously, I have a opinion that, you know, as a man, we want to be the provider,
right?
Provide, protect, right, and also the visionary, the planner, the leader. I think those are our three major things of being a man in a household. So if the woman comes in and she has her own money, obviously she can help. That's good for both of us. I have no problem with that. But if I'm putting out, let's say if I had $50,000 a year, you know, and she wants to bring hers to it, like she made 100,
right?
You know, she could put $50,000 to it, you know, and then set that other 50,000 aside. Then I think, I think men.
So that makes you equal.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, sort of, yeah, but
financially,
I think,
if she's bringing 50,
so are you saying you want to be a man only when it's convenient?
Well, no, I'm saying like a lot of times. So what drives men more than women is ego, right? Even when it comes to relationships, if you harm a man's ego, you're gonna have problems in like many, you know, areas of your relationship. It might in the intimate part, the financial part, you're gonna the communication part,
right?
So, I think that's what drives men is the ego too. So, yeah. I wouldn't mind it. You know, I'm not one that would go seek somebody who has money. So, and another point to that, I think most men, when men look at women as potential mates, generally speaking, and I'm going through the years, the 100, 200,000 years, whatever, the money that she came with was not a factor. So even today, like a guy will see somebody in the mall, let's say, if they still go to malls, they'll see him in the mall, right? And the first thing that's going to drive a guy is what?
How she looks,
the physical. That drives men like more than I think anything. Then comes the other stuff, like the nurturing part. You know, are you gonna give me the respect? Are you gonna, you know, nurture me in any type of way? Right? We don't look at like, oh, she got a good job and this and that. But on the reverse, if like some guys, but not, I've heard them, like, you know, she might work at, let's say, McDonald's, and they might be thinking that, okay, well, am I going to have to pay for everything? Or,
oh, wow.
You know, am I going to have to, you know, be overloaded with all her stuff, her bills and this and that, whatever. But the argument could be made that, oh, you're not a man if you're not going to be able to, or even want to take care of her. You can't separate her from the other things
she had,
even the children.
Right.
Same thing with it. Right. Like a guy who would take a woman who has like say 5 kids. That would drive a lot of men away because it's like, well, I don't want to put up with that financial burden.
And it's not just a financial burden; it's what comes with those 5 kids.
Exactly.
How many dads is in that rotation? Right. It's a lot that comes with that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wow. Oh, Lord, I'm glad I'm not dating. Dimitri said, we're going back to the comments on Facebook. Dimitri said, I think they start off wanting love. Then they lean towards respect and money. Just like a young athlete chasing a championship, after a while they play for money.
Okay. Now, we mentioned sort of like that with the women. And I get it. I get it. As a woman, I don't blame any woman that, wants to go after somebody who's, financially secure, and if you respect. That's why I framed the question that way. But in the reverse, if I was that man, again, going back to the last one, I would, as long as I'm respected, I got the respect and the loyalty and all that type of stuff. I don't need the extra love. That's what mom is for. That's what this is for. And because, but again, I would look at it that way. Then you can build that love over time.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. That is true. That's true. I used to always say the next marriage, I used to always say, A, I'm never getting married again. And B, if I do, he is going to be absolutely stinking ridiculously rich. But I'm
going
not
after the bag.
Oh, I'm absolutely. But I don't know how to find that in the circles that I'm in. So.
You need to move down to like Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
If you move with Psycho,
there you go.
You don't want. It's gonna be some broke ass man.
I could live in Beverly Hills. Be like the what's that movie where it had Nick Nolte?
Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Yeah, that would be me. I don't know. I just, you want people to be genuine, rich, poor, you just want people to be genuine.
So let me ask you this question. This is for both of you. Who do you think, well, we kind of mentioned it, but who do you think cares about money more, the man or the woman?
I think women. I think women do. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the only thing men can give that. Okay, so it's like the highest bidder. That's the only thing they can give, that they can actually give. Sometimes these days it's like that's the only thing that can keep a woman,
If you have money.
That's kind of sad though.
I know.
It is
Yeah,
sad.
that's these days. It's like everybody is after money. I guess maybe because of the situation.
So indecent proposal.
Oh, jeez.
Right? Some guy who's a billionaire comes to you and he's, let's say, who's the most disgusting person that you can think of? Like
that's currently running for president.
Okay. Donald Trump. And he just said so many nice things about you. So, okay, Donald Trump, comes to you and say, hey. I can't do it. So he said, he comes to you and he says, obviously, he's rich for now.
Right.
And he just turns your stomach, right? But knowing that you're going to have a life of fame and fortune, would you take the offer, even if it lasts for a year? Matter of fact, I mean, let's put it. He offers you $5 million to be his mistress
for a year. Oh, I'm gonna take it.
Not doing it.
Well, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save the money.
But it's gonna cost you all your other relationships.
I'm gonna be with him by myself. Just him.
Yeah, and it's gonna cost you your relationships.
You mean like
people
family
like you?
and
Like you?
friends and
it'll cost you.
Oh no.
Boyfriends, husbands.
But then at the end of the day, the $5 million is gonna be for all of us. When we're laughing.
Guys don't care. We don't care about that.
Wait, that's a lie. When I say, hey, Psycho, let me buy you a mansion later,
Nope.
you're not gonna take it. Oh my
Nope.
God, no.
Nope.
Oh, I'm saying, okay, you still want to.
You know what I would think of?
Uh-huh.
You know what I think of? I would think of that one day later on down the line, that somebody comes. We might be struggling.
right.
But somebody comes with some cash.
$5 million is a lot. It's a lot of money.
Not for me. But like we're struggling. Then what happens?
Well, it's like a contract. I'm signing a contract for a year.
But and I do believe that women, even then, you might get with, let's say, somebody like Trump or a Trump-like person, and you're there for a year, and you might fall in love with them.
Ew, that's
Yeah.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
strange
things have happened. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Oh, before I forget, last week's winner of our trivia was, oh my God. I'm sorry.
So much for not forgetting.
That's what happens when you get old.
Facts.
You just can't I'm going to say can't keep it up.
Oh, that is a Freudian slip.
You can't, the memory fails.
The memory does fail.
Angie. I was trying to think of her last name.
Okay.
But
thank you, Angie, for listening.
So what we didn't tell her what the
prize was gonna be.
Prize was gonna be.
Yeah.
So what was the prize?
I thought you picked
A high five.
The high five. So Angie, you want a high five? We're doing stupid prizes. So let's say normally I would give what was that prize I had over there? The thing that blows out humidifier.
Oh,
little,
okay.
Mini humidifier.
Gotcha.
So
was she in the country?
She's not in the country. She's in Zambia.
Did she win the last one?
She won the last one. She was right on time.
Number one fan.
So we'll give her the equivalent. I'll look it up. So Angie, you get some cash.
Yay!
So
thank you for listening.
So and we did actually have some other people that chimed in. They just didn't make it in time because Angie was like boom
right on it. Yeah.
Okay. So congratulations, Angie. And so since we're here, that's for this episode, this podcast, we're gonna come up with a trivia question for the prize.
Okay.
And let's state what the prize is ahead of time. So we'll do. This is the same month, but we'll do next week or next month.
Oh yeah, and it's my birthday on Sunday, everybody.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Happy birthday!
All right. So this is the prize for this week, this podcast. Whoever wins gets to take Felonious Feather out for her birthday.
You know what?
Yay!
Cue the cricket noise.
Cue the what noise?
The cricket noise.
You know what? Stop it. You just need to stop it.
All right. So okay. We'll come up with something. But let's say the today's trivia. Come up with something, Lamb Chop. You good with these things?
I am good with these things. Who did we say the indecent proposal person was?
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have got the prize. I just forgot.
You sitting right here.
So yeah, who was the indecent proposal person? Okay, I got you. Yes. Okay, so you guys, first one to give us that answer, whether it be by email or by text. WhatsApp, and I'll give you the number. It's 1.
What you keep saying?
4,
WhatsApp.
You sounded like you're saying what's up.
Yeah. Well, that's where it came from. Right?
Oh, okay.
It's WhatsApp.
All right, so it's on WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Okay. You can send a message there or leave a voice note, whatever you need to do. So it's 1-443-860-2716.
Hallelujah.
That's right. I got the number right. And you can send it by email. It's Hot Topics. That's HOTTOPIX, not C, X. Hot Topics Podcast at gmail.com. Okay.
All right.
We'll be waiting to hear from you.
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully, in next month, every month we're going to do the one big prize. And that was and I'm trying to make an arrangement where we have arrangement with the comedy shows.
Okay.
Right. So it'll be Baltimore, DC, Philly, Atlantic City, the major hubs in our particular area. If you guys, if somebody wins it and you're in, like, say, Houston, I'll look at the
what's happening in Houston.
Yeah, what's happening in Houston, and we'll give see if we can arrange it. Yeah.
What about out of the country?
Out of the country, we'll give you the cash equivalent.
Okay.
So that's not so bad, unless you come from one of those countries where the dollar is less than your currency.
Know, I can't.
You'll get a McDonald's gift certificate or something. They got
Not
McDonald's everywhere. Hey, they got McDonald's everywhere. So, are we done with the social media?
Yes.
All right. So
yes,
we have that. We trying to think of the some of the other ones, but mainly what I get out of it, most of the women did say, most except for maybe one or two, most of the women said no. They said
money.
They said money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said money. A couple said love, and then I believe Tasha said respect was primary, whether the person had
money or not. Right.
Yeah. So
right.
And I get that people want respect and they can gain love.
Right.
Or if you say how if you don't have respect, how can you love me? So I see that on there. So you guys, next podcast we're actually going to talk about. I shouldn't tell you.
My favorite topic.
Wait a minute.
It's my favorite.
They can look at.
I'm fired up already.
Okay. All right. She ready.
So look at the hot topics question of the day. The last one, you'll see Felonious Feather on there, and that's what the topic is going to be. Check her out, and we're on Facebook, Instagram.
The square thing?
Yeah, the square thing. Facebook and Instagram, and I try to put it everywhere, but check those two places out. Oh, TikTok. That will be the topic. If you want to chime in and answer that question, you can go to answer the question under the reel. And you can also email us or
leave a message.
Leave a message.
Leave a message.
What's
and we will be more than happy to read some of your comments.
Yes. Okay. As always, whoever's out there listening, thank you for listening. And we want to make sure you have all our stuff before we go. We have our website at HOTTOPIX. That's Hot Topics Podcast.com. Okay. And
at Gmail.
Oh, and Hot Topics Podcast at gmail.com is the email. But if you go to the website, and I know some people watch or listen to us on Spotify.
Okay.
There's maybe Spreaker, and what was the other popular one?
Apple.
So if you go to the website, you can actually, on that first page, you can actually select your favorite platform. So it's all the platforms that we're on is right on that website. So you can go there and follow us.
Be sure to follow.
Yes. We would love the followers. And if you want to do a question of the day, please let us know. We can arrange that. Mm-hmm. We have some ideas from our listeners for the next few, questions of the day, which will turn into what we discuss on the podcast. So thank you for your time, and we are out of here.
Ta-ta.
Peace. She's always late.